Hey, hola, ¿cómo estás? It's me, the Lost Canuck, and we're up here in the BBQ Lab doing a special cook today. And so I got my cooking hat on, so it only means one thing: we're going to do some cooking. Plus, we're going to do a bunch of different fun and exciting things. So first of all, let's talk about what we're cooking. We're going to cook a rack of pork, okay? Now these are seasonal at Costco, so if you can get one, grab them. These things are awesome. So basically, it's got the bones in. Basically, if you went to a butcher shop, you'd pay for the 2 bone chops with the bone in, but this is a whole rack. So and they were blowing them out last year sometime, so I had this sitting in the freezer for a while, so let's cook it up. Now, the exciting part of the cook is we're going to use some special pecan shells that are crushed. Now, we're not using smoking pecan pellets. These are shells that I'm going to mix in with the pellets and fire up the old Lone Star Grillz 42-inch pellet smoker and try them out. Now, I'll leave a link to the bottom where you can get these things if everything turns out all right. So I'm going to mix them about 33%. And so we're going to take this thing, this rack of pork that you just saw, I'm going to take it and turn it into this beautiful, yummy, delicious, fully cooked rack of pork. And what we're going to do is, I don't know if you can see the bones, but there's 2, so I'm going to cut it into 4 big chops. So 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So let's roll that intro. Okay, so let's get our rack of pork prepped up. Now, also in my cook. Now this isn't a review or anything. I'm going to do that on a later video. But the guys from Meat Stick sent me this Duo probe. It's this is the competition to the Tyfer Sync Gold Duo. They just came out with this, so I'm going to check it out. Give it a review later, see if I like it or if it works or if it's junk or whatever. But we're going to try that out. So you'll see me put 2 probes in to the rack of pork. So let's get this thing going. And again, I'm going to do it on the Lone Star for the crushed pecan shells. Should give it a nice flavor. Now that we're drained off a little bit, let's get our pork out. Get it seasoned up and starting to dry brine for a few hours before I throw it on the grill. This thing is nicely marbled. I don't know if you can see the marbling in that. And I'm gonna have to. There's a couple of little hangy things on here that you don't want, but there's really no trimming. Not really any trimming involved here. All right, so we're gonna pat this thing dry. Just get some paper towels, pat it dry. It's not a whole lot of prep work you have to do with a rack of pork. Some people call it a pork roast. But Costco has these, like I say, seasonally, usually in the fall, sometimes in the spring right around Easter. I got this one in the fall. Okay, all right, so we're trimmed. Doesn't look bad. Some people French them, so when I say French them, here's what I mean. I'm not doing it. So some people cut this strip of meat off here and then get the bones nice and clean so they look like lollipops. I want the meat. I want the flavor. Not doing that. All right, so now that we've got it patted dry, Lost Canuck's going to use some controversial stuff here. Going to put some binder on. You don't have to. It's wet enough. You can go straight to the rub. I like binder. I'm a binder kind of guy, so let's put some binder on. Okay, so we're going to put some local flavor into this thing. I've got this Demon Pig Carolina mustard sauce. I like this stuff. And it's made in North Dakota. That's right next to, or pretty much almost next to us. It's made in Devil's Lake, North Dakota. Small company, Demon Pig, Carolina style. So give it a try. What is it? Yep, Pride of Dakota. So, and again, you're not going to be able to really taste this anyways, but I like giving a shout out to some of the local people that put hard work into their stuff. Okay, so there's one side. Smells, this stuff smells great. Okay, I'll just move our knife out of the way. Okay, so for the rub today, I'm going to use tried and tested Suckle Busters Hog Waller. It's kind of a sweet, there's a lot of salt in here. It'll go good with dry brining it because the salt will soak into it, make her nice and tasty. And then, after I'm done, we're going to leave it in the fridge for, I don't know, what time is it? Probably a couple hours before I throw it on there, and should take about, I don't know, 4 hours to cook this thing, maybe. I can smell the paprika in here. It's even making the videographer cough a bit. And she's way over there. There was the hog waller. There was my demon pig. So we're really on a pig theme today. All right. I'm going to go fire up the pit. Probably in a couple hours. I'm going to let this dry brine in the fridge for, I don't know, 3 hours. By the time we're going to go to the garden center, but about 3 hours from now. And I'll throw it on, and we'll try our new this meat stick duo. I haven't even taken it out of the package yet, and see if this thing works. All right, we'll see you down at the pit. Hey, well, it's me. It's the Lost Canuck coming at you live and in person down in front of the barbecue barn. And again, it's a nice spring day. You notice I got my t-shirt on, so it's like 60, I think, outside right now. Anyways, look. We're going to throw the rack of pork on here. I got it set at 225. Here's the twist. Here's the special part of the cook. My friend Dave Kleinman, okay, sells crushed pecan shells. And that's what this big sack is here. And I don't know if you can see these, but that's what they look like, okay? It's just crushed pecan shells, okay? And he sells them for $25. For 20 pounds of it, and that includes shipping to wherever you are in the US. So he's a friend of the channel, so I thought I'd try them out in my pellet mix. So you can mix them on a Lone Star. I haven't tried some of my other pits, but on a Lone Star you can mix them about 33%. So I put 2 scoops of, I'm using the Naughty Wood almond pellets. Okay, so I got 2 scoops of those with 1 scoop of the shells, and this is what your mix looks like right here in the hopper. So you can see I've got pellets and shells all mixed together. All right, so let's see what happens. The smoke coming out of it's nice and mellow and nutty smelling, so I like that. So let's put this down. We'll get the meat going. So I'm going to use, look, I told you I was going to use the meat stick with that Duo system, the brand new one. Hey, Lost Canuck, you know, technology, I have to charge all that stuff before I can use it. So I didn't do that, so we'll get that on the cook tomorrow. But so we're going to use the trusty old RFX probe. We're going to put purple on one side, and then I've got my combustion probe here for the other side. So I've got a RFX and a combustion. And I like the combustion, trying them, because it's got the little ambient, and then the RFX is very accurate. So let's get this meat on. It's been dry brining in the fridge. Looks good. And away we go. And you'll notice I got my shelf lowered, so it's Lost Canuck height now. And we're going to cook it here on the top rack. You can see the mix is fairly smoky. Okay, now this is the side with the membrane. So I'm going to cook it down right about here. There we go. Okay, actually I'm going to put it more in the middle. Okay, so that's right in the middle of the pit. Got everything, well, don't have the probe in straight. There we go. There we go. Okay, so now we're cooking. I'm going to wipe the crap off my stainless. So we're going to take the pork, the rack of pork, up to about 138 internal, and pull it, because it's gonna, the temperature's about between 138 and 140. So the temperature's gonna keep climbing, and you don't want to eat the pork until it's 145 internal. 145 is good. There, you can see it's starting to, when I had the lid open, it's starting to catch everything again. So, but anyways, so you want the internal temperature at 145 minimum. So if I pull it at okay, let's pull it at 140, and it should reach that. All right, so the smoke smells good, by the way. It smells very nutty, mellow. It's a nice smell. Okay, I'll see you when it's time to pull it. Lost Canuck out. All right, well, if you're interested in the smoke coming out of this thing with those pecan shells, it is, it's just shy of 225. I don't know, I had the lid open. But yeah, it's smoking pretty nice. Smells nice. All right, keep on cooking. Hi, well, we're at the pit. The internal temperature on the pork roast actually just overshot a little bit. It's at 142, which should be fine. I'm going to pull it off. We're going to loosely tent it upstairs in the lab under just some foil, and we're going to let it rest for a little while. And we're going to cut those beautiful two-bone pieces of meat out. So let's take a quick look and see what this thing looks like. Oh yeah, look at the color on that thing. Look at the smoke coming out of here too. Like, those pecan shells really did a nice job. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at the coloring, looks great on it. Smells awesome. So let me just put this down, close it up, and put her in cool down mode here. Oh, and I brought it up to, just so you know, full disclosure, the last half an hour I'd brought it up to 250 to hurry the cook along, so it so my family could eat tonight. So let's go upstairs. We'll tent this. It's going to overshoot a little bit, and we should be good. Hey, all right. Well, we are back upstairs here in the BBQ Lab. Like I said, I left the rack of pork, the roast, underneath some loosely tented foil. Now, the internals hit, they carried right on up. Actually, I went over about 146, 147 internal, so we're good. And actually, it's still pretty hot. It's telling me it's like 141. There we go. So there it is. It's beautiful. The color looks awesome. And it smells amazing. So let's get her up here on the cutting board. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the temperature probes out, and then we'll slice it up. Okay. All right. So that's our rack of pork. I'm just going to grab clean a few things up here, and then we're going to slice it into the portions. See you in a second. All right. Well, I cleaned up a few of the things. We're going to take our slicing knife here and cut it into 4 portions. So, because there's 2 bones per portion, so I can see where the bones are. Actually, I'm going to tilt it up like this. So I'm hitting the chine right here. There we go. Now I know what I'm doing. I murdered that one a little bit. So there's the inside. You can see I got a nice smoke ring on here. I don't know if the camera can pick that up. There's steam that's really juicy. So this is the end cut. So I'll take an end piece off here. Oh yeah, she's cooked. Very, very juicy. Like, I mean, the stuff's just running into my hand. So I don't want to screw that up too bad. All right, so there's a section. I'll try not to butcher this one up too bad. There. So what you got to do is up here at near the chine here is feel where the bones are, and then you can put your knife blade. So there's a bit of resistance there because there's a little bit of the bone left. So there's another Another two. Look at the smoke ring on there. Now this is juicy. The juice is just running off this pork. The color is amazing. Okay, so I don't want to keep cutting it up here, so we'll take a little slice off here. All right, I'll cut this in a second. The juice is just coming out of here like crazy. Smells amazing. Okay, like the smoke that I can smell on here is really nice. Okay, maybe that's not. Man, it's starting to fall apart. Okay, I'm going to give one to the videographer, and then I'm going to take a little piece. There's one part for the dog. Cheers. This is good. Smoky. It's juicy. Now I cut this is the crust, so it would be more smoky. The inside, very juicy. If you can find yourself a rack of pork at Costco when it's on sale, even if it's not on sale, jump on it, get it. It's so delicious. Like this is like super nice. You can see I cut into the smoke ring. Here I'll cut into the center part of it now so that everybody knows that I'm not lying about it. How it's just tender, and it's so tender and juicy. Here's another piece for the internal piece for the videographer. Cheers. It's so tender. It just melts in your mouth. Amazing. Okay. I won't stop eating this if I, and you can see that the juice is just coming out of here. I'll put this off to the side. Okay, look. I'll cut the rest up here in a second for the family. Turned out amazing. Super easy to cook. It took me 3 hours on the smoke. See, when did I put it on? I'm looking at the clock over there. So it took me 3.5 hours of smoking, and then oh, it's really windy outside. Took me 3.5 hours of smoking. I left it tented under the foil for about 45 minutes to let it rest. It's very important you let it rest properly. Keeps all this amazing juice on the inside. And then it's I just sampled it. It's super it's amazingly delicious. The rub worked good. I can't taste the binder obviously, but the rub worked really nice. And I'm going to use some of that mustard sauce, I think, on mine. Final thoughts and conclusions. Okay, so the pecan shells, the crushed pecan shells, worked amazing. Like the smoke output was probably 25% more than normal. So I'll leave a link down there to Dave Kleinman's company, whereas I'll leave an email for him down below, not his company. It's Gatto's Barbecue, and he's selling these bags. I think it would cost me, it's $25 for 20 pounds, okay? And I bought 2 to try it out. I'm sold. I think I'll keep using this. If you don't believe me, try it out for yourself. And I'm not sponsored. He's not paying me nothing. He's actually a channel viewer, and on Facebook, on some of the pages, I've been talking to him. So that's where I got that idea from. And so, like I said, I'll leave his email. He took my Venmo and everything, shipped it up. That's $25 for 20 pounds, shipped right to your door. Okay, there. Enough said about that. Plus, I used my Naughty Wood pellets. Great pellets. The almond smell from those, plus mixed with the pecan, it just gives it a nice smooth flavor. It's amazing. I wish you could smell this stuff. It smells so good and it tasted great. So, rack of pork, thumbs up. Get it at Costco. I got mine for $10 off back when I bought it. It was in my freezer for a while. Crushed pecan shells, $25 for 20 pounds. Cheaper than the smoking pecan pellets. Now, I like their pellets too. There's nothing wrong with them. But I'm all about saving money too. So you can take this stuff, mix it into your regular pellets. You can do that with a smoking pecan too. But hey, it's $11 cheaper per 20 pounds. and it's shipped to your house. So there you go. So thumbs up on the crushed shells. Now, it worked in my Lone Star at 33%, and the Lone Star is designed for wood chips. I'm going to try it out on a couple of my other pellet smokers so that you guys know, hey, it'll work for that too. I don't see why it wouldn't, but we'll try it out. I'll try it on the Blazin'. I'll give it a little try on my Pi 1, see if it all works out. Okay, there you go. We're near the end of the video. I'm going to put up my QR code over here for the Instagram page. Now I have a little over 1,100 followers. Thank you very much for following me. I do post up some different content there time to time. Check out my Instagram page. Consider following me. Really appreciate it. Look, if you found value from this video, don't forget to please hit that like button. Really helps the channel out, helps us grow, helps us find new markets. Now, if you have the ability, after you hit the like, there should be a hype thing down there. Swipe it over to the side, hype me 450 hype points. That really supercharges the video, helps me find new markets. Okay, finally, if you liked anything I used in my video, like the Hey Grill Hey gloves, my temperature probes, the knife, whatever, all that stuff, here's a shameless plug for my Lost Canuck store. Now, yes, it's an affiliate link store, the link is down below. I do make a very small commission, extremely small, but it helps the channel, it helps me buy racks of pork, pellets, helps me buy crushed pecan shells from Dave Kleinman. Sorry, Dave. And so there you go. There you have it. So check that out. For all my returning viewers, thanks for watching. You guys are my core. Thanks for coming back. Really appreciate it. Always got some fun and interesting content coming. And for all you guys that just tuned in, consider subscribing. It's a fun channel. We do fun things all the time. Case in point, I just finished my free bowl of soup I got with my hat.
This is the worst looking hat I ever saw. Well, you buy a hat like this, I'll bet you get a free bowl of soup, huh? Oh, it looks good on you, though.
All right, so like I was saying, consider subscribing, so hit that like, subscribe, and the notify me bell. Now the notify me bell, ding ding, it's going to tell you, hey, when I got some new content out there. All right, I think that's everything. Oh, yeah, always my last words on every video. Don't forget, okay? This is important. This is the important. This is the soup. If you got any value out of it, don't forget this. Be kind to each other. Super important nowadays. It's getting so crazy out there. The times are really difficult. You don't know what other people are dealing with or what they're thinking or anything. So cut people some slack, give them a break, be kind to each other. All right, take care, guys. Love you. Bye-bye.